Problem jest taki, że mój laptop lubi się czasem przegrzać. Najwyraźniej streamowanie gry, która idzie w 10 FPS-ach, to było dla niego za dużo. Więc sorki, ale chyba wrócimy do Kama. Było tu lobby, w którym może coś się za chwilę dziać. A co mi tam? Hasło nie jest aż tak tajne. Okej. Jesteśmy z powrotem. Niestety w Kamie. Obiecuję, że kiedyś, jak już uporam się ze swoim sprzętem, to wrócimy do tematu Nights Province. Na pewno będzie też trochę przyjemniej grać, kiedy będę miał już trochę więcej niż 10 klatek na sekundę. Ciężko też streamować w takich warunkach. A w tej chwili czekamy, aż zapełni się lobby w Kamie. Może chwilę potrwać. Ja postaram się upewnić, że nie będę miał problemów już z laptopem. Póki jeszcze czekamy. Będziemy oglądać kolejną grę. raz, okej. Wygląda na to, że wciąż mamy 4 graczy i sprawdzamy, co tu się będzie dalej działo. Może wbije ktoś jeszcze. No więc wygląda na to, że trzeba będzie chwilę poczekać. Nie za bardzo chcą zaczynać 2 na 2 i się też nie dziwię. Ja bym wolał zresztą pokazać grę w 6P albo 8P. Zobacz, czy na TeamSpeaku są jacyś ludzie.
Connected.
Może być słabo pod tym względem.
User left your channel. Sound muted.
Dobry wieczór. Raczej dobry. Ktoś tu wszedł, ale nie wiem kto to. Czy może uda się zagrać na 6 za chwilę? To może zróbmy tak. Ja zrobię sobie jakieś 10 minut przerwy. I obiecuję oczywiście wrócić. I tak bez spiny zaczniemy pewnie oglądać jakąś drugą grę, kiedy gracze już się pojawią. Może być 10 minut, może być 20, no zobaczymy jak to będzie. Może w ogóle nawet nie będzie gry. Mam nadzieję, że ludzie się zbiorą. No, mamy już 4, to już jest dobra podstawa. Teraz przydałoby się jeszcze 2. Także ja wracam za 10 minut. Jeśli macie jakieś pytania i tak dalej, to piszcie. Jak wrócę, to odpowiem. Także be right back. Okej. Ja już jestem, ale niewiele tu się dzieje. Wciąż przydałoby się jeszcze z dwóch. To prawda. Taka pora. Ja nie wiem, że normalni ludzie w święta nie siadają do kompa i nie grają. To jest dziwne dla mnie. Ale cóż. No, miałem nadzieję, że będzie coś bardziej ciekawego niż 2 na 2. Ale nie wykluczałbym, że później dzisiaj coś się będzie działo. Nasza taka bardziej stała pora to jest jednak raczej 19, 21. Wtedy będzie dużo więcej graczy. I myślę, że wtedy można też by było pokazać coś ciekawszego. Of course, of course. To nie takie łatwe. Na pewno, znaczy dzisiaj jest też dzień świąteczny dla innych krajów niż Polska. Nie wiem jak to u nich wygląda, czy oni sobie jedzą jakiś taki uroczysty raczej obiad, czy raczej kolację, czy co tam. Ale Wigilia to jest chyba bardziej u nas, nie wiem jak w innych krajach właśnie. Czy no myślę w tej chwili o Anglii, gdzie raczej dzisiaj niż wczoraj jest jakieś tam uroczyste siedzenie przy stole. Przynajmniej mi się wydaje, bo nie jestem jakimś znawcą tych tematów. I'm not sure. Looking at the minimap only, it doesn't look like it's possible or feasible to play top versus bottom. Well, maybe location 6 and location 1 can be alone. It's not impossible, but it's more like left versus right to me. It's a new map, by the way. I mean, new. Has 2 months, I think. That's pretty new. I'm not sure. Uh, I'll try to see if I have some other version of this map. And I have indeed. Interesting. There's 8p version of it. So you are correct. And it indeed looks like top versus bottom. I mean, it's possible to play in both configurations. Or maybe not. Yeah, top versus bottom, indeed. I think this Neguno here is an earlier version. So it's still waiting for more players. Wciąż czekamy na większą ilość graczy. Z 4, no nawet nie byłoby łatwo zrobić balansu, bo gracz z hiszpańską flagą, nazwijmy go Volts, wyraźnie zostaje poziomem od reszty i nie sądzę, żeby dało się nawet zbalansować. Dlatego potrzeba tu jeszcze 2 graczy, żeby może coś się udało zrobić. Ale jest dzisiaj trochę chyba nie najlepszy dzień do grania. Albo przynajmniej jest za wcześnie na to. Więc czekamy dalej. teraz się uda. Okej, wygląda na to, że już stracili cierpliwość i będzie 2-2.
Channel edited. Hey, wake up.
Okej. Not sure if there's more Polish or English speaking people here. I'll keep talking Polish for some time. But if just let me know if there's a lot of non-Polish people here. Coś zaczęło się dziać. Mamy 6 graczy. Już wystartowali w 4, ale jednak wrócili do lobby. Pojawili się gracze. Więc zaczną teraz w 6. Albo i 8. Zobaczymy, co tu się stanie. Zaczynamy. Wreszcie wystartowaliśmy po długich bojach. Hello. Myślę, że jest dobry moment, żeby przełączyć się na język angielski. Something's happening with Cytla. But I guess he'll be back. Yeah. Prędkość x 1,5. So after making a stream in Polish and a long break, I think it took about an hour. We're back and the game is started. We have 6 players playing here. Witam. Szkoda, że tak późno przejść, bo poprzedniego streama robiłem w całości po polsku. Teraz chciałem się przełączyć na angielski, żeby złapać też ludzi spoza kraju. A zazwyczaj po angielsku właśnie robię streamy. Ale będę starał się raz na jakiś czas też po polsku, bo w sumie fajniej się tak nawet gada. Tylko trzeba więcej Polaków wtedy złapać, którzy chcą obejrzeć. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, we have 6 players playing here. The map is called Defending the Homeland, and it's a map for 6 players. as you probably guessed. Um, they're playing left versus right. On the left side we have Esman from Poland, Bobby from Slovakia, but we can consider him Polish as well, and Gentor from Hungary. While the right side has Skeletor, Slovenian player, Sitla and Martin, Polish brothers. This map is considered easy, I think, although depends on location. For example, space management and wood is a bit tricky on Martin's log. You can see you have almost no space for farms. This is pretty annoying log. Still pretty early into the game. I guess it will become a bit more interesting in about 20 minutes. About what I see here about the chances of the teams, I think team 1 is a bit stronger, but because Esman is the best player in the lobby, and Bobby, I'm not sure if he's second best. Might be, because I didn't see Skeletor play in some time, so maybe he might be a bit rusty. But I don't know what Gentor will do, because he said he didn't play since some time, but I missed how much, I think. Or maybe I'm imagining things, whatever. Anyway, it's completely unknown to me what he will play. I know his nickname from the past, but didn't see him in quite a long while. So it's gonna be a mystery. And that's probably why the balance is like this. Because if Gento is actively playing and in form, then this balance is really bad. Martin and Zitla are pretty similar level, maybe Zitla a bit better, not sure. Skelly used to be pretty cool builder, but I didn't see him since some time. I think he's playing actively, at least he's very often spectating. The location he's playing has a bit tricky item. It's pretty far away. So far doesn't look too bad the way he's building. You shouldn't have a problem with Woodland's location. You have plenty below Soul House. Like I said, the distance to iron is a bit annoying, and that's probably one thing you have to care about on this log. Gold is very close, so it should be no problem to make a quick gold smelter. Zitla's location is interesting to say the least. This sand here is really annoying. Quite like on his brother's location. But at least here you should have no problem finding some space for farms. You can't really use all of this space maybe. Well, I think I would make the farm a bit higher and just go like this. So we have plenty of space for more farms later, but that's his decision. You should probably try to build model field city on the sands and use every bit of space for woodcutters and farms whenever you can plant them. But we'll see how it goes for him. If he goes for like 6 farms, maybe it'll be fine. As you can see, a bit of a problem here already with what's he doing? Okay. Sorry. Yes, even better idea. Just makes 2 farms here probably. Just waiting to get a bit more resources maybe. Okay. Keep in mind that you should probably always make the gold smelter as close to the coal as possible. Because if it stops getting coal, then you can't do much in your base, right? Okay, I need 2 minutes. Be right back. I'm back. Seems like S-Man covered a lot of distance already. It's pretty important to get all of your forests you can get, and he seems to be doing that. I'm not sure of the locations of trees, the initial locations of forests of this location. That sounded bad, but whatever. Because he takes these 2 forests. He also made 3 woodcutters on the left. which should give him plenty of trees overall. One more here. Has 6. No, has 4? Ah, wait, I have Citla selected. He has 5. Okay, not too bad. You can see he kinda has to build everywhere right now. I think his farms are pretty fast. And in a bit late, but it will be fine. I think these shortcuts from storehouse to inn would be more useful if he made them before he finished the inn. Now it's only contributing to the traffic jams here. But it will still be a bit useful, like you can see. And obviously it will help in general. I'd probably think about a shortcut here as well, but it's not necessarily needed right now. Oh. Okay, he was lacking coal, so iron smithy wasn't working yet. Doesn't seem to have a lot of gold, but I'm guessing this will change. What I said earlier, you can see that Esman doesn't listen to my advice. Let's call it an advice. And he believes that gold smelter needs coal, might be better than in coal. You can also fix it with the coal delivery plans, but if he forgets about it, you're going to see an interesting and painful situation when most of the coal is brought to the nearest buildings, while these two will not get much at all. Still, I think his iron will be pretty nice. It's pretty fast. Let's take a look at Bobby now. Bobby is very late with his... wait a second. He has another mine here. Interesting. Decided to build this one earlier because he needed pretty strong wood production here. If I remember correctly, you usually make a straight line like this on this log and just spam trees in this area, because you can't really make any buildings here, right? I mean, this mountain is kind of blocking you from the rest of the city, and building around mountains is not the best idea usually. So you will prefer. This is strange, by the way. There's a tree that wasn't visible. You couldn't even hear when he cut it. But he cut it. It seems like it's here. Anyway, Bobby's base. Let's face it, looks total crap. Just look at this road, at this traffic jam. There's like, it looks like there's completely no logic, but before you judge Bobby too hard, this log kind of forced this on him. You have to go here with woodcutters pretty soon, and then you almost need gold. So it looks kinda weird that he built the second one from the right side and that he has to go all around here. I think this shortcut would help a great deal. There's also no easy space to make farms, so it's not really Bobby's fault, but he just has to build like in this way, because the location forces you to make some choices that you would probably prefer to avoid. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure there's some forests here, but it would probably look a bit better if you could make like 2 farms here and go with them to the bottom. Maybe make some woodcutters there, and try to save some space for buildings here, and then make the rest of woodcutters there. But I think it would be a bit well, nearly impossible to make a good base in this way. Not sure if this is intentional, but seems like Bobby is gathering stones in Storehouse. Which might explain the traffic jam here. Bobby is probably going to have average or good army, depending on form. But you can usually count on him and his amount of troops, so I am not too worried. But he'll usually make about 25 iron, not more, and leather is usually good enough, maybe a bit better than iron. Let's take a look at Gentor, because it's a mystery to me what will happen here. I really don't like the way this base looks right now, but could you make it better? I think you definitely could. I would probably keep building a bit more to the left, go like this, with some buildings. Only make maybe make trees here. Make the stonemasons like here, something like this, perhaps. Some farms there. Yeah, it looks a bit too stretched, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of unnecessary long roads that are not connected with the other part. Like, I mean, for example, this. It just begs to make some buildings here along the way, but he decided to do it just like this, and serfs just go a very long way. They do not need the core of the city. There's I don't really like it. Maybe it will work fine because this part of the city it's a bit far away and there's a lot of long roads, but okay, this is if he wants to make this barracks here, I'd be a bit surprised. I probably wouldn't do that. Better place for barracks. I kind of have an anti-talent for the barracks places, but I'd probably try maybe here if you want a very safe and very far from front. Probably something like this would be a bit better. Strange. Now we're looking at Martin. One nice thing is that on this location you can make a huge forest here and just don't care about it. It's very far away from the base, which is also a downside. Need to waste plenty of time to get there to build the woodcutters first, and obviously to gather the trees from here as well. This mountain in the middle is really annoying, and well, the amount of space for the farms is a bit annoying as well. These farms look pretty strange, but as you can see, it's not because Martin likes to build like this. It's more like there's simply no freaking space for the farms. If you could like turn around the buildings 180 degrees, maybe it would make sense on this location, because you could just make the farms above, the farm fields above. I guess most of you should probably know that it's much better if you make farms like this one, for example. It has farm fields directly below the building, so the road the farmer guy has to take is shorter than, for example, if the farms were here. Then he would have to go outside, turn around, and go here. And it's much longer than straight road to the bottom, right? So farms like this are pretty inefficient. So this is bad. But in this current situation, when Martin really has no space for farming, you pretty much don't have any other choice. You just make farm fields wherever you can fit them, and you hope it will work more or less fine. Like you can see here, this is retarded, but he doesn't have other choice on this lock. Time to switch to the White City from Cytla, brother of Martin. You know, this seems like I look at this and at the first look I like what I see. You have farms and woodcutters nicely separated from the rest of the base. And you have the core of the base somewhere here. It makes sense. The planning at least makes sense. We'll see how it goes with other aspects. You can see plenty of iron in the storehouse, both the ore and the iron bars. It's still 20 minutes, so I think it's a good idea to stack this if you don't have enough time to if you are unable to build the weapon smithies and armor smithies a bit earlier. So I think it's pretty nice, and he probably should make the weapon smithy as well. Still waiting for the coal mines, it seems. Oh, he might need a shortcut here. If he's able to make one, because I'm not sure if you can place a road on this tile. Anyway, at least on paper this base looks pretty nice, but we'll see on peacetime how it will work, how much army it can make. It only started making iron weapons and suits. Maybe not the best word. But it's 20 minutes and he has plenty of iron here. You know, in cases like this, maybe it's worth it to make a third armor smithy. Maybe it's a waste of time, I don't know. But I thought there were 4 iron mines on this log. I'm not sure if maybe he could make one more here, but he placed some buildings there. I am unsure right now. Might be wrong though. Yeah, so this seems pretty nice from Sitla. I'm positively surprised. Looking at Skeletor. It'd be a good time to think about leather production. But it's still 17 minutes. Which probably should be plenty of time to make the ladder. We don't like the way this base looks like, but we'll see how it works. It's a pretty, maybe a bit late weaponsmithy, but there's a possibility he will make 2. Not yet though. Has 15 minutes and 15 armors and shields. If you have any questions, suggestions, feel free to let me know on Twitch. I think Bobby also might need a second weaponsmithy. There's plenty of armors and shields on 12 minutes. Well, 12 minutes, maybe he'll be able to catch up. Would you look at this base? Looks pretty nice. Like the way he put his farms here, along with the wood, some of the woodcutters, and these ones as well. You can see a lot of little things that will probably make a lot of sense in a good base. For example, the sawmills are basically inside the forest here, and are also very close to the wooden weapon makers. So Serbs have really short way from the woodcutters to the sawmills, and then also very short way from here to weapon makers. And of course it's better to, especially it's the best to have sawmills near the wooden weapon makers, because you have to bring two of the wood pieces to weapon maker, and you bring out only one thing from the weapon maker, for example a bow. So it's not much of a problem if one self has to take a bow and go throughout the entire city to the barracks, but it's better than two serfs trying to bring wood, two pieces of wood from the sawmill somewhere on the other end of the base to the weapon maker. So you always want to have sawmills near the weapon makers because of because we waste a lot less time this way. Same goes to farms, for example. You can see Esman executed it beautifully here, and his farms are pretty close to the buildings that are using them, namely swine farms and stables. Then, if they have to bring pigs, they don't have too far away as well. Kind of same with tannery. It's a bit far, but at some point, it's not, it's just not possible to have everything close to each other. It's definitely good enough. And like I said before, you need to think what are you bringing to a building and from a building, and place the buildings near each other when serfs have to bring more resources, like I explained with woodcutters. It will also work here. If you bring one piece of skin and get two rolls for it, it's better to place this building near the armor maker, because two serfs have to cover less distance this way. It's also a bit important, but not that important, to have it close to the pig farms. Like, it's good enough, I guess. And you can see there's a kind of logical progress. The starting resources, basic resources like wood and corn, are produced very far away from the core of the base. It goes like this, and every single stage of weapon production is a bit closer to the barracks than the other things. So this base looks pretty well. It's also really well organized. It just looks good visually, like looks very even, as you can see. A base doesn't have to look that even, but it's not bad if it does, right? I'm pretty sure he has a pre-build. I mean, it's not impossible. He might be doing freestyle build without a pre-build, but it looks like he planned this all so well that he might have spent some time before the game doing this. I'm not sure. This location lets you build whatever you want, I guess. There's plenty of space for farms here, so hard to say whether he was preparing for this or it's just a good player playing a good game. You can see the result here will be pretty nice. He already has 40 iron units, 30 of them will be swordman, and there's still 3 minutes left. He lacks a few swords, but it's not too important at the moment. He'll catch up in no time. 40 leather units as well and 4 horses. Seems pretty nice for me. Let's take a look at his teammates before the peacetime bell goes. Ay, Bobby. It's not what I expected. Iron is pretty lacking. Needs a bit more swords, but it would be fine if not for the leather, which is very bad. What's the problem? Seems to me like he made his pig farms a bit late. This might also mean his food production will be very bad, but we'll see, I guess. Gentod? Gentod! Whoa! Seems better than Bobby. Did Bobby have horses, by the way? A few, okay. Yeah, it's still a bit better here, even if there's no horses. I didn't really expect that. Okay, so might be interesting. I didn't expect Bobby to be the one that fails. Nice to see Kentor has not a bad game. No horses, but it's not too bad. Skelly, a bit of horses. Would be pretty similar to what Genton has, maybe? Nah, it's a bit similar to what Esman has, but he has not enough wooden weapons and a bit less iron. Yeah, Esman is definitely better. But Skelly also a pretty nice game. About 30-30 on peacetime it seems. With some horses. Etc. I'm really interested to see this. And it seems pretty nice. 10 horses. Let's take a quick look. Did Esman have any? 6 horses, a bit worse. This is interesting. Esman has about... Okay. Well, Esman is beating pretty much everyone here, but Zita also has pretty nice game. And Martin, 50-40. I like the leather, even if no horses, it's pretty nice. But for the iron, it's not that great, I think. Anyway, I have a short peacetime break, and I guess in a few minutes we'll see which team will prevail. As for my personal opinion, I had to say I kind of counted more on the left side. The right side has pretty nice armies as well, so it's hard to say what will happen. I think it will be pretty even. Maybe a bit easier for the left side team to win this, but I wouldn't rule out anything because the right definitely has enough. So we'll find out in a few minutes. Okay, that was fast. But it still seems to need a few on serves. Hi, Bavaros. No. We don't play bonus maps. This is pure original type of gameplay. We don't play bonus maps because they make things too easy, you know. And you can see these armies here are not very big. They are just like they should be. You can maneuver with this. You can't really maneuver with troops when you have I don't know 300 bowmen shooting each other. Teams are gathering their troops in the middle of the map here and also on the top. But it seems like Esman decided to go to the bottom. Interesting to see what will happen here, because I don't think he wants to enter here. He can be easily cut off. I would probably try to go here with his army on his place. It's very easy to confuse Esmond and Skeletor here. The brothers are trying something out. Not sure. Well, they can try. As long as Esmond doesn't go to the bottom. Exactly. Esmond is trying something very strange. Going to top. But for whatever reason seems like Zitla is following. Maybe he tried to invade the base. Seems so for me at the moment. Bobby goes top as well. Gento should probably try to go to attack Martin, or at least pretend to do so. Instead, Martin goes to attack. Interesting. Quick look on the top. Esman is gaining good position here. Nah, not so sure about this good position, but he's gaining some position. Skeleton doesn't want to go in here, that's for sure. But for S-Man it's not really good either. He can get easily caught on this in this area. And someone is fighting. Martin attacks, but it's not a good attack. I don't know. Gento doesn't have a lot actually. Or maybe he kind of has. What's happening? Yeah, Martin will probably lose. Skeletor will lose most of his horses here. Oh well, come on. Why does he escape right now? Still had plenty. Anyway, I don't think Martin's decision was a good one. I wouldn't attack like this. Actually, it's hard for me to say who attacked. Someone's looking, but it looked like Martin was attacking. I think Martin shouldn't have gone back so fast. Citla should have probably used the horses on the swords. Still, I don't think it was that bad for either team. They lost most of melee and almost none of the bows. There's definitely a fight here. Okay, I'm very good at missing fights today. And it seems like Skeletor will break through. This is interesting. Yeah, definitely. There's a better position, I think, for shooting. Otherwise, I don't know how to explain whatever's happening right now here. And I think Asman should try to escape as soon as possible. While they're trying to attack on the bottom. I don't know who provoked this. Let's zoom out a bit. Skeleton is doing pretty strange stuff here, and it's possible that Espan will actually gain an upper hand on the top. The bottom looks pretty even, but I think the right side should probably win there. So it's all on Esman right now. If he can, and he should probably be able to defeat Skeletor unless Martin's bows are too annoying, and they will be. Yeah. Mathematically speaking, the right side should win, but I can see Esman somehow is gaining advantage. I think Martin should be a bit better with his bowman. Didn't really work. Well, okay, now it kind of works. Esman lost everything indeed. So it looks like the right side won, but it's not a... It's a pretty big win, but they still have something left. They can try to defend if they can evacuate to one of the bases. And here Bobby is doing something interesting. Oh well, with that many bows he can shoot this down, but it's probably not what he wanted to do. Ah, maybe. Well, this is worse. This can't be stopped so easily. So I think the left side will lose everything soon, because just like you can see, just as you can see, no melee, but not much of it maybe, and a very bad position. They were trying to escape, but you can't escape with everything, as you can see. This looks pretty bad for the left side. Esman will still try to do something interesting on the right side here. Probably will kill off Skelly's bowman. without much effort. And it's really interesting what Bob is doing here, because he seems to have killed some troops. And it's still not over, I think. Pretty interesting fight today. And look at this army Esman is bringing. I'm pretty sure the right side will lose this. The best thing they can do is defeat the left side's bows. Esman is a bit late, but it probably should be enough. Not too late. Not that late. You can see how clever Esman is in fights. He can make a difference even despite having less or no army or whatever. Okay, this might not be a good thing to do. Ah well, there are some horses here as well. Interesting. You can see the right side's winning anyway, but there's still plenty of soldiers left here. Well, maybe not that much, but it's not impossible for the left side to defend, at least. The right would have to attack very quickly and have enough. They don't have much time for this. I think they will not do anything right now. They are pretty defensive, I think. I think well, they're attacking, but I think they will fail because there's a pretty big army coming. They still have to kill this first. I probably won't. But then, as you can see, they can become surrounded. The troops inside the base. This. What happens here is pretty chaotic. Mm. The brothers are not sure what to do, trying to kill this army, but I think it's probably a mistake. Maybe not too good, but I mean they still left some troops to kill the serfs, so should be fine. Now they should probably kill these troops without much effort. This army from Esmond will leave, but they managed to kill most of Bobby's, all of Bobby's army here. Okay, seems like it's GG. Interesting. The right side wall. You can see Esmond has pretty nice spam. Obviously Martin as well, but he has spikes, then he's gonna have a lot more troops produced. Esmond had probably the best base all around. And pretty nice maneuvers as well, but it wasn't enough. The right side managed to win. I think I'd like to take another look at the what happened after peacetime. The fight in the middle. So let's take another look at what was happening here. Hold on. X10 is probably the right speed to watch this. Right side gains some space on the bottom. Goes back. Esmond pretends to walk in on the top. And he will go back here, I think. While on the bottom, seems like Martin is trying to attack. Hold on. And he kind of changes his mind, but then gets caught by this bow here, and he doesn't really know what to do. His bows are not really shooting. Maybe he needs a bit wider formation. He had a lot of bows, but he couldn't use them, which is pretty annoying. And at this point, he shouldn't have escaped, I think. I think it might have been better to use these horses against the swords and keep shooting. Had a lot of bows, and this could finish these troops a bit earlier. Second part of the fight soon. And it starts on the top, on the middle actually. And Skeletor manages to break through Esmon's army. Esmon had a really bad spot, and he got surrounded by Skeletor's troops pretty quickly. You can see the right side is shooting from all around this mountain, and Es still has a lot of troops left, but Skelly goes back and then attacks. I think it's pretty clever, because he managed to catch Esman into a trap here, except that he doesn't attack, never mind. Okay, he goes back even more. He needs a bit more melee, I'm afraid, to pull it off. And in the meantime, on the bottom, the right side manages to kill off all the melee of the left. Because his Skelly is doing pretty good job, despite the fact that he doesn't really know what to do with his boss, it seems. He's very lucky to have his reinforcements at exactly the right time. Otherwise he'd be pretty much screwed. And this one little horse on the left side was also pretty nice. And he managed to kill all of Esman's army, which had a big impact on how the game looked like. Okay, so yeah, this concludes this game. I think that's the last I wanna stream today. Maybe I'll play some game in a while. I definitely need a break. So yeah, thanks for watching me today. Hope you enjoyed it. And see you next time. Bye bye.